What do you see in this video? Do you see a deer or a deer and some beech trees? What about this one? Do you see a robin or a robin and some plat moss? Plants are everywhere, but we just don't notice them. Think about when you woke up this morning. You probably put on cotton clothes, ate cereal or toast, brushed your teeth with mint toothpaste, and put some books in a bag. Everything we do depends on plants. Plants produce the oxygen we breathe. They clean our air, filter our water, and protect the soil. They literally keep us alive. Perhaps we don't notice plants because we think a lot of them look the same. But try counting how many different ones you see next time you walk to the shop. I counted 41 species, and that was just in a 5-minute walk. Perhaps it's because they don't seem to do much or move around. But those plants you pass all the time have amazing adaptations to cope with life rooted on the spot. And I'm going to tell you about a few of them. Let's start with this grass plant growing outside my door. This is annual meadowgrass, and it's the most common grass species in the world. Now you can see this specimen is green, but you also get a purple-leaved form like this one. The purple form is particularly common in regularly weeded flower beds because it is camouflaged against the dark soil. It is more likely to survive and therefore contributes more seeds to the soil seed bank than the green form. This small feathery plant with strange cone-like flowers is called pineapple weed. It's very common and thrives on compacted soil in pavements, footpaths and playgrounds. Pineapple weed smells of pineapple when crushed, and the flower heads can be used to make a herbal tea. But it's not for humans that the plant makes this smell. These complex chemicals, called volatile organic compounds, are designed to easily evaporate and float through the air to repel hungry plant-eating insects, in this case caterpillars of the lime-speck pug moth. A plant you will see a lot in recently dug flower beds or vegetable plots is hairy bittercress with these slender seed pods known as siliques. You can see the row of seeds inside. When the seeds are mature, the siliques rapidly explode, propelling the seeds more than 4 meters from the plant. This plant, shepherd's purse, is common on pavements, verges and waste ground and has these heart-shaped seed pods. But the seeds within have a far more astonishing property, which is a kind of carnivory, an adaptation to growing in nutrient-poor soil. When the seeds start to germinate in the soil, they produce a lethal mucus, a kind of sticky substance that attracts nematodes, tiny roundworms that live in the soil, and then kills them. The nutrients from the decaying nematodes result in better germination and growth in poor soil. This strange-looking yellowish-green plant is called sunspurge and is very common in pavement cracks, gardens and waste grounds. It has a more benign strategy than shepherd's purse for getting its seeds off to a good start. It has these 3 round, 3-sided seed capsules which are green and fleshy to start with, but split to reveal the seeds as they dry out. Each seed has a fleshy structure on the side called the elaiosome. Ants are attracted to the seeds because the elaiosome is rich in protein and fats and a good food source. They carry the seed to the nest and feed the elaiosome to their developing larvae. The seed coat is too hard for an ant to crack, so the seeds are carried to the ant's waste heap and germinate. And in this way the new plant will grow far away from the competition of the parent plant. Be careful you don't touch the sap of this plant as it's a skin irritant. You've probably noticed that dandelions produce a white milky sap when you break the stem. This milky sap is called latex, a sticky mixture made of polymers and other substances dispersed in water. A polymer is a long molecule made of smaller molecules joined together. The latex helps to seal wounds if the plant is injured, which protects it from insect attack and infection by microbes. Amazingly, this latex can also be turned into rubber, and the Russian dandelion is being grown commercially for use in tyre manufacture. To see this plant, lords and ladies, you'll need to look in a woodland or a hedgerow. It has this distinctively shaped flower and arrow-shaped leaves. The flower head produces volatile organic compounds, remember these are complex chemicals that freely evaporate, that have a powerful smell similar to cow manure. These moth flies, which pollinate lords and ladies, are attracted by the irresistible smell as they breed on cow manure. They fall into the trap chamber at the base of the flower and land on the tiny male and female flowers at the base. They can't escape due to these special downward pointing hairs which block the trapdoor opening. The male flowers release pollen onto the moth flies, and then the next day the special hairs wither and the moth flies can crawl out. At some point they will fly to another flower and get trapped again, transferring the pollen to the female flowers. Fertilisation occurs, leading to these spikes of red and green berries. All parts of lords and ladies are poisonous, so watch young children or pets carefully around this plant. So there we have just a few examples of plants' incredible environmental adaptations. Camouflage for concealment in annual meadow grass, insect-repelling chemicals in pineapple weed, seed propulsion in hairy bittercress, carnivory in shepherd's purse seeds, food packages for ants in sunspurge seeds, latex production in dandelion, and pollinator traps in lords and ladies flowers. Keep an eye out for these common plants next time you're out and about. Thank you for listening.